What is your definition of failure? And why are you scared to fail in the first place? That is what I'm going to get into today. Sit tight. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Jen. I help people reinvent their reality. We're going to talk about failure today and what it means when we're scared of failing. What is your definition of failure exactly? What is everyone's definition of failure? What is it about failure that scares us so much that it prevents us from moving forward in our lives? So, here's the thing. To many of us, failure equals discomfort, right? It's an uncomfortable thing to feel like we've failed at something. But understand this, failure could also be looked at as a life lesson, right? And then the life lesson could be looked at as self-growth. And self-growth can be looked at as empowerment. See, it's about shifting your perspective on failure in the first place. Put it this way. Why are we so afraid to fail in front of a crowd, right? Versus us failing and say we misspell a word in our personal journal. Nobody sees it. Why do we give more importance on failing in front of people versus us spelling a word wrong or us tripping over our own feet where nobody sees? What's the difference? What is the difference? That is where you have to ask yourself. So the difference is our ego. Our ego does not want to be judged. Right? It does not want judgment from other people. So every time we make a mistake and we think that somebody out there sees that mistake, we form this perception of ourselves that we are less than, that we are imperfect. What is it about imperfection that scares us, right? We think we live in a society where perfect is good and imperfection is bad, right? We have these labels we put on things. But understand this, okay, perfection, it's not good nor bad, it's just a societal label, right? And imperfection is not good nor bad. Again, it's just a label. So if you can rid yourself of these labels, then you're going to be in a better place for yourself because you're going to understand that there is no such thing, essentially, as failing in the first place. So if there's no such thing as failing, then how can it be scary if it's not real, right? So perfection is a false projection, right, of the mind, and imperfection is a false projection of the mind. So take these two things and really analyze them and ask yourself, what am I so afraid of? And chances are it is the fear of judgment, right? The fear that somebody's going to see you fail, or, you know, the emotions behind that very thing, right? How you're going to feel. So it's going to equal more discomfort. It's not actually failing, it's the discomfort we feel from the judgment on other people, from other people, rather. So realize that, okay? Once you realize that imperfection, even though it's a label, is a beautiful thing, because it helps you grow, it empowers you, and it allows you to move forward in life. There's nobody in life who has not failed before, right? Exactly. There's nobody in life who has not tripped over their own feet. It's very embarrassing, right? When you're walking and you just trip. But it's more embarrassing when somebody sees you do it. It's less embarrassing when you just do it on your own, right? You miss a step. And you're like, ooh, you know? But it's more embarrassing when we know somebody saw us trip over our own feet. Why? Well, it's our own insecurities, right? It's that false projection. It's that, oh, if I don't walk in a straight line perfectly, then something's wrong with me. Somebody's going to think that there's something wrong with me. False projection. False projection. So it's about shifting your perspective. It's about, you know, realizing that your reality is all coming from inside of you. Your thoughts, the beliefs about yourself. So maybe you have limiting beliefs, right? So you have fears surrounding failing. Maybe it stems from something you experienced when you were a kid, right? Something happened and your brain memorizes that. So you come into a similar situation now and you don't want to relive that experience because it felt bad. So it comes down to just our emotions feeling good versus bad, because we're always, for the most part, we're always going to want to try to feel on the good side, unless we're in like this victim state. We're actually getting a secondary gain out of getting attention from other people for feeling bad, right? But it comes down to your emotional state. It comes down to your energetic state when you think about it, okay? There's good versus bad. There's not good versus bad, but there are more high vibrational emotions versus lower emotions, right? Emotions that feel more in tune to our bodies and resonance to our bodies, and then ones that don't. So the key here is to allow less of the ego to come in and more of that innate self, that authentic self, that self of knowing, right? That knows. Instead of having those negative, old patterns pop up for you, you want to flow with the part of you that knows that anytime you have a little mishap, which there's no such thing as a mishap, it's just how you're viewing the mishap, right? The label you put on the mishap. You're viewing it as either good or bad, perfect or imperfect. But again, perfect, imperfect, labels that we've created, right? Labels, societal mold, this little bubble that we live in. So once you shift yourself and you understand that, okay, lesson learned, self-growth, make it about your inner awareness, your inner growth, your self-development, instead of all up here, okay? Instead of all up here, like, what will somebody think? That's all about status, right? That's all coming from the ego. Make it more about meaning and purpose and that internal part of you, that authentic part of you that knows and doesn't care about labels, doesn't care about good nor bad. I mean, you care about feeling good, yes, but once you shift your perception of the label, I guess you could say, right? And you realize, you've always associated feeling bad with failure, or failure with feeling bad. If you can shift that to a better place, to a little higher on the vibrational scale, the emotional scale, and instead of failure being down here with like, I'm useless, right? Hopeless. If you can shift your definition of failure to a little bit higher for yourself, then that is going to help you in life. That is going to help you immensely in life. So with that being said, think about it, all right? Take some time, really analyze, what are you labeling in your world? What are you so scared of failing at? Why are you placing importance on failing in front of other people versus you just spelling a word wrong in your journal, right? Because that's still a mistake, technically, but you're not placing as much importance on it. Why? Why? Should be no different, right? Should be no different. It's how you're viewing it. So have a great day, guys. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. I put out a video every single morning. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Reach out to me. Tell me your experiences. Love to always hear. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Peace out.